Yet once again, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has managed yet another foreign policy blunder. And this one is a doozy. Today is Sunday. I didn't plan on making a video today, but this just came across my desk and I thought this is something that should be shared. So I'm working today, even though I'm not supposed to be working. You're listening to the Political Blowback podcast, and my name is Steve Kostick. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to make this a very, very brief video to inform you about this latest Donald Trump foreign policy blunder. Here's a headline that appeared approximately 2 weeks ago in the Kiev Independent newspaper. And the headline reads, "The last person we need help from is Zelenskyy. Trump rebuffs Ukraine's drone defense offer." I just can't believe it when I see a headline like this, where Donald Trump needs, from an egotistical perspective, he needs to catapult himself into a position of power, and he really doesn't care if that supersedes common sense. The nation of Ukraine, over the course of the last 4.5 years, has really upped their game in terms of drone warfare. And a part of that is they have created these interceptor drones, which are extremely, extremely cost effective. And they are also extremely useful and valuable against incoming drones that are coming in from Russia. So you see these Arab countries who are allies of the United States, who are getting these barrage of drones coming in from Iran, and they're looking at the United States and saying, yeah, you know, you're kind of the chief protector here, and this is giving us a big, big problem. And this is resulting in a big headache for us. What you going to do? What is Donald Trump going to do when Vladimir Zelenskyy offers assistance 2 weeks ago in terms of his expertise and hands-on contributions to help defend against Iran drones? Donald Trump comes out and says, well, the last person we need help from is Zelenskyy. Really? Really? Are you somehow the flag bearer for common sense? Are you introducing a new logic that the world has never known of? You know, it appears to me like your ego is running amok far beyond the reality of the things that people have to deal with. Now, these drones are far more cost effective than the Patriot missiles that were previously being used. You're talking about, you know, a $50,000 drone or a $20,000 drone to defend against these incursions of drones. And instead of using a Patriot missile that is worth a few $1,000,000, you're going to use a $20,000 drone. That makes sense to me. Why is it that Donald Trump cannot grow accustomed to the new math that is called reality, or the new math that is called common sense? It's almost as though he's saying, oh, you know what, my taxpayers, they have lots of money. Let's just blow the load on Patriot missiles. and spend as much money as we can. Like it just defies logic, folks. How such, I mean, do you ever wonder how somebody could bankrupt a casino? Well, now you know. The evidence is right in front of your face. Now, Vladimir Zelenskyy came to the United Arab Emirates in the last couple of days, and he was hoping to establish a deal. He wanted to be helpful, to help the United Arab Emirates defend itself, and at the same time, he had a need for Patriot missiles. The reason he needs the Patriot missiles is because the United States has not supplied enough of them to protect Ukraine from incoming missiles. So this is a win-win situation. The United Arab Emirates, they receive the drone interceptor capability to the extent of about 1,000 of these things a day. And in exchange, Ukraine is going to receive some Patriot missile capability provided by the United Arab Emirates. This is exemplary of people working together for a common cause. Let me tell you what's not people working together. Donald Trump, when he's faced with this situation, this global oil crisis that he and Benjamin Netanyahu created, his flash of brilliance was to allow Iran, seemingly his enemy, to carry on exporting oil unabated, and he took the sanctions off of them. Well, you know, when you're fighting a war, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, more insane than financially contributing to your adversary. And that's exactly what he's done. And for that matter, he's done the same thing to Ukraine and Vladimir Zelenskyy. Because he's essentially kicked them in the teeth by taking the sanctions off of Russian oil. Now, for those of you who do not know, Russia was fast becoming in an extremely, extremely precarious situation because their war effort against Ukraine over the past 4.5 to 5 years has all but depleted their war chest. Russia was teetering on the brink of financial and economic collapse. Here comes Donald Trump, who all of a sudden took the sanctions off the Russian oil, and now Russia has a cash cow working just fine again so they can prolong the war against the Ukraine. I'm going to put this in very blunt terms. This is probably the greatest foreign policy screw-up ever by an American president. And you know, when I look at what has happened over the course of this past weekend with the No Kings rally that brought out millions upon millions of people all across the United States, and for that matter, across the globe, even in Canada, they had one in Toronto. You know, think back a little bit to, you know, depending on your age, if you're an older person, you may have seen many, many Canadian prime ministers, many U.S. presidents, and some of them you really liked, and some of them you didn't like. But, you know, there was always this point of acceptance where people just said, I don't really like him or her, whatever the case may be. But, you know, the people have elected him. So, yeah, we'll just wait till the election comes, and hopefully they'll there'll be a change. Think about what just happened in the United States of America. Millions of people took to the streets on Saturday, carrying placards saying no kings, poor immigration policy, poor immigration enforcement, right? Speaking out against tariffs, speaking out against authoritarianism. I would say that there's no complacency there. And people are speaking. There's no indifference. There's no, well, let's just wait until next election and hopefully they'll pick a better person. They're speaking out now. What does that say about an American president when you're drawing millions of people out of their homes on a Saturday and inspiring them to take to the streets? And you have people like Jane Fonda and Bruce Springsteen. Senator Bernie Sanders are coming out and addressing the people who are hungry for change, who are saying, that's enough of this shit. Everything the man touches, he screws up, and we have to say something about it. That's my rant for today. Hope you have a great day. Enjoy. I didn't mind climbing on my day off at all because this is just too important to share. Have a great day.